Well, I've got the Nomad all loaded up with my camping gear. I decided to head to the coast for 4 days. It's been real hazy and smoky here in Southern Oregon from the wildfires that are still raging in California. And the coast will be a lot cooler and a lot clearer air. I haven't taken the Nomad on that length of a trip yet, so this will be a first for me also. The route I'm going to take is I'm going to follow some less traveled roads that basically go south of the Rogue River, which flows into the Pacific Ocean down at Gold Beach. And then I'll work my way up the coast and come back inland, again following some lesser traveled roads on the north side of the Rogue River. I'd like to call this doing a lap of the Rogue River, basically. So if you'd like to see what coastal Oregon looks like and some of the coastal forests and the rivers along the Rogue River Valley, come and join me for one of my senior moments. My plan was to leave my home in Ashland, Oregon, head up north towards Grants Pass, then take the Bear Camp Road from Gleese to Gold Beach, where the Rogue River flows into the Pacific Ocean. I would then travel north and spend the night at Humbug State Park. I've only had my Yamaha Tenere 700 adventure motorcycle for a few months, but I'm getting much more comfortable riding on it after transitioning from 50 years of riding a street cruiser. All right, cash, right?
Are you wanting to fill it up there?
Yeah, it's not going to take a lot, but I want to make sure I have it full since I'm going to the coast. So,
Premium?
yeah, that sounds good. Thank you.
Going over Bear Camp?
It's the road to that goes south of the Rogue River from Gleese to
Gold Beach?
Yeah.
Yep, that's Bear Camp.
Is that a single lane paved road?
Yes, it is paved.
All right,
That's single lane.
That's what I thought. I should be okay.
It used to be an old logging road back in the day, and now it's a shuttle road that they used to get over the mountains.
Right.
You actually should be getting up there just as the shuttles are done, so...
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, you skated through on that one.
Really? So they're all done by...
They're usually mostly done by about 11 o'clock. They try to get it over the mountain and back as fast as possible. Yeah. And then you still get a few day shuttles throughout the day, but...
I'll keep my eye out.
In the morning. In the morning, early in the morning, like around 6, it's terrible to go this way, and around 11, it's terrible to go that way. So. Be right back. Do you need a receipt?
No, I don't. Thank you. All right. Well, that's good to know that the shuttles for the Rogue River Wilderness are about over at this time of day because it's a one-lane road, and I really don't want to get a lot of shuttles coming up with rafts on it. So should be good. It's been a really good road so far, really fun to ride. I've only seen 2 vehicles on this road, so it's a perfect adventure bike road. I thought I'd stop here to take lunch because I just came out of the woods and there's a terrific view of the Wild Rogue Valley that's down below me. I think it's the next ridge over is actually where the river is, but it's a wild area back here. It's well traveled though, actually, because of all the recreation with the river, and there is a lot of active logging and other uses back here, but for the most part it's really wild. It's a beautiful area. So there's a stoppage on the road here. I'm not sure what's going on. These guys are talking to each other. The people ahead of me, I think, are one of the rafting shuttles, and there's someone ahead of him. But I guess I'll find out in a second. Is there a problem, or were you just talking, or was there something wrong on the road?
Everything's good.
Huh?
Everything's good.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, they're just gonna let me go. They must have just been chatting. Thanks, guys. All right. I was worried that the road might be blocked or something. As soon as I got onto the ocean highway, the winds just picked up and they've been buffeting me all over the place. So I pulled over to take a break from the wind, even though I slowed down my speed just to keep me stable. But it's a really beautiful area. There's the ocean there with the sea stacks in the background, and it's probably about 4 o'clock in the afternoon right now. Beautiful Oregon coast. Well, I made it into my camping spot for the night. It's at Humbug State Park. It's kind of an open area with a lot of other people camping here too. But there's really no sort of boondocking camping along the coast. You pretty much have to camp in established campground, so should be okay for tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and set up a tent and think about getting something for dinner. This is the historic Fort Orford. Fort Orford, Oregon is one of, if not the oldest settlement on the Oregon coast. And it's not very big, even to this day has about 1,100 residents. Supposedly there's a seafood shack up here. Didn't look like much in town was open, and this must be it right here because I see cars. Yeah, this has got to be it. This is the spot for dinner. Alright, I found a place out of the wind, got my fish and prawns, and I made it just in time because they just closed. So I'm going to enjoy this fish fish and prawns and a beer and sit out of the wind and stare at the ocean a little bit. It's gonna be a good dinner. After I settled in camp and had a nice dinner, I decided to spend the evening on the beach and watch the sunset. It was such a beautiful evening. Camp was peaceful and quiet, and I had a good night's sleep. I got up and fixed my breakfast, and I decided before leaving the park I would attempt to hike up to the top of Humbug Mountain and get some great views of the Pacific Ocean. And walking through the coastal forest, it's a beautiful hike, steep. And I believe a lot of these trees are Port Orford cedars, which are only found in this area, coastal area of Oregon. It's a very valued tree for lumber, but it gets a disease too, which has made them even more valuable because of the scarcity. Well, at the 1.5 mile point, I decided to turn around and go on back. It's still another 1.5 miles to the summit, and I need to leave the campground. And I've got a little bit of distance to ride today, and it's starting to get windy, which means my ride is going to be a little more slow and cautious. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to get to the top and get the views, but it was a nice hike, anyways. I packed up my camping gear and prepared to take a leisurely ride north, where I would spend the night at Sunset Bay State Park, just south of Coos Bay. I plan to stop on the way to visit the resort town of Bandon, Flores Lake, and whatever other sites might interest me along the route. I took a side trip to an area called Flores Lake, which I had heard of before, and I was told that it's a very windy spot, as it is on the coast. And sure enough, there's all these sailboarders. I'm not sure what that's called. Windboard. I'll find out and put it in the comments. But I'm gonna go check it out, and these guys are flying around. That was really interesting. These guys are, and there's some ladies there too. They're really flying along, boy. That wind's blowing, and they're getting up in the air and zipping along the water. It looks like fun. If I was maybe not a senior, half my age or less, I might have tried it. An interesting sculpture right here in Old Town Bandon. It's made out of plastic. They call it Henry the Fish, and it's all made from cans and water bottles, beach toys, and plastic, mostly pieces of plastic that end up in the ocean and the beaches. And so this is just to make people aware that so much of the plastic that we use, I use as well, ends up in the ocean and on our beaches. Sadly, that's a new reality. Yeah, this is
In fact, I still have his helmet.
I use this so when I'm on my bike I can, you know, film things as I go by.
Yeah, right.
But you don't want to really stop and, you know.
No, and it actually does a good job. I've also got another, you know, handheld camera, but obviously I can't be riding the motorcycle and taking a picture at the same time. So
Right, yeah, you gotta stop. Think he's got 2 wheels instead of 4. That makes a
yeah,
difference too.
yeah, that I don't want to do
Yeah.
either. After a good night's sleep, I packed up my tent and prepared to head inland south to the Eden Valley Road. Before I headed inland, I wanted to spend a few hours exploring the beaches and the bluffs near Sunset Bay State Park, where I had spent the night. Well, I really enjoyed this area up near Coos Bay, Oregon, and north of Bandon. And unfortunately, I'm only here for one day, so there's a lot more I'd like to see and explore. So I think I'm going to come back and bring my teardrop trailer with me this time. Spend a few more days exploring the area. It's just a lot to see, really cool area to be in. I'm passing through the town of Myrtle Point. It's another old established logging town. It's kind of you know, rough and tumble like a lot of the old logging towns here in Oregon. But still has a downtown that seems to be functioning. They have an Ace Hardware and some other shops and stores, and I see people walking around, so it is a community. It hasn't died. Some of these small lumber towns have been struggling, the heyday being in the past, but they're always, to me, really interesting. You know, people make a livelihood out here, and they live out here for generations in small town America. I just came into the little town of Powers, and I'm hoping there's gas, because this is my last spot that I can, oh, right across from me, it's a little gas station. I think it's the only thing here, and if I didn't have couldn't get any gas, I'm gonna have to turn around and go back. I didn't realize how small this town was gonna be, but I figured they have to have a gas station as far away from other cities they are. Okay, I gotta find somebody here to get gas from though. Let's see. Hello? Hello? Gas?
We don't have fuel right now.
You don't?
Not
Is there somewhere in town here?
No, not right at the moment.
Really? Do I have to go back to, I have to go back to Myrtle Point?
Yeah.
Oh boy. How far is that?
17.
17 miles? Nobody's got gas, huh?
Are you pretty low?
Well, it's just in my motorcycle. I need to, yeah, I can't. I'm heading,
Beach is like,
huh?
you know where Gold Beach is, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
No, yeah, I'm heading inland, so. All right, I'll go back. Thanks. Well, that's my mistake, I guess. Now I gotta go all the way back to Myrtle Point to get gas. Boy, I messed up on that. I just assumed this town would have a gas station. And then I checked on my phone for gas stations earlier, and I haven't been getting very good reception on my phone, so I thought it showed that it did have gas here, but I was probably reading Myrtle Point instead. My bad, but I'll just go back and then continue on. I went all the way down to Powers and realized, found out they didn't have any gas.
Yeah. You doing a card?
Can I do a card?
You can.
I can do that.
Then you can go ahead and make it happen.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
All right, I made it back to Powers, got some gas, put me about probably close to 20 miles each way out of the way, but now I'm gonna head back down to Powers. Hopefully that's enough. There's not gonna be any gas stations for the next, at least the rest of today and a good chunk of tomorrow too. Well, I made it back down to Powers here. I'm stopped across from the Last Chance gas station that was out of gas, and but I also stopped here at this sort of stop and go type place. A nice man stopped by, and I talked to him a bit, and he told me the road's open all the way through where I'm going to go. It's some gravel, partially paved. There's a waterfalls down there, but there's really no towns until I get over to I-5. Which is going to be tomorrow sometime. So I'm going to pick up a beer or two. I've got my dinner, and then head on down the road because it's got to be 5 o'clock already. All right, here I go. Powers is a town just about at the end of the road here. It's the last civilization I'm going to see until sometime tomorrow. But I'll tell you, the people have been super nice here. I pulled over on my bike and I've had 2 or 3 people come over and ask me where I'm from and where I'm going and give me directions and some help. So, you know, small town America, it's still alive, and it's good to see that it is. So, well, the road's pretty good. I didn't expect to see somebody walking their dog on it because it's pretty remote out here, so I'm not sure where that guy was from. But I also want to go a little slower because it is getting towards dusk and there's a lot of deer. I just don't want anything to jump out in front of me. And I'm heading towards a area called the Coquille Falls. Now I'm following along the Coquille River, which is right down below me, and I get a view of it once in a while, and there's not a lot of water in it. So I don't imagine there's going to be a lot of water in the falls. And talking to somebody in the town of Powers, I don't think there's a campground right at the waterfall. I might have to go another couple miles, but I really want to get there before it gets too dark. I've probably got another hour of daylight, so I should be okay. Okay, so I've come 23 miles from Powers. I didn't realize, but this is also a bicycle route. Glendale to Powers bicycle route. Wow, that would be that'd be quite the ride. But boy, it's really scenic out here and no one out here. I'm still looking for my campground, so a little further to go. Well, I made the turnoff to the road that goes over to Eden Valley, and from what I understand, this is the road that I want, that goes on the north side of the Road River. I wasn't expecting it to be paved all the way, so we'll see. Right now it's pretty good. It's, you know, narrow, and I don't expect to see a lot of traffic, if any, tonight. I did see there's a campground up here about 5 miles, so I'm going to try to hit that for the night. It'll be a good spot, and then check out where I'm at on a map and figure out what I want to explore tomorrow. I did hit a big pothole coming on the road, and boy, I hit it hard with my front, and I was afraid I had popped a tire, so I pulled over and checked it all out. It all seems to be okay, which I really don't want to have to change the tire again. But I do have a spare, two spares. I've got a fresh spare from my back and a fresh spare for my front, and all my repair kit and tools. So if I do get a flat, I'm going to tackle it. But let's say no flats, huh? So far, so good. Okay, I made it into a spot called Eden Valley. To be honest, I'm not really sure where I'm at. I'm going to have to look on the map here later today. Sun is just getting ready to set, so I wanted to go and set up my camp, which I did. You can see here. I'm at this little campground deep in the forest. There's nobody here. I really haven't seen but maybe 2 vehicles on the road all the way from Powers, and that's an hour or so ride. So I'm out here, and it's not a lot of people. I'm not sure why they would come out into this little campground. Anyways, I didn't go to the waterfall. The water is so low that there's not going to be much of a waterfall at all. We're just continuing the drought here in the west, and a lot of the rivers and the lakes are just really, really low. As part of that too, there's a extreme fire danger, so No campfires. Unfortunately, I can't have a campfire tonight, even though there's a fire pit back there. So I do have a stove. I'll heat up my dinner. I got a beer at the end of today's to celebrate my my adventure today. It was quite a day, riding a little longer than I thought I would, but I'm at home for the night. So I'm going to go ahead and start the dinner up, get the rest of my camp set up, and you know, enjoy that beer that I've got too. After another good night's sleep, I prepared for my final day, riding down the Eden Valley Road to Wolf Creek and then back home. Riding through this area, there's a checkerboard ownership of lands, with private timberlands mixed with federal timberlands managed by the Bureau of Land Management. There were large swaths of clear cuts that were recent and others that looked like they had been logged many years ago. It looked like the forest was primarily composed of Douglas fir trees, the Oregon state tree. Douglas firs are well adapted to this area, and as you can see from the video, the regeneration in the clear cut is really healthy. Well, the Nomad and I made it down out of the mountains. We're right off the interstate, so from here it's a straight shot home. I thought I'd stop off in Wolf Creek, though. There's the historic, famous Wolf Creek Inn, and I'll grab some lunch. But it was a great trip. I really enjoyed that 4-day trip. Didn't have any gravel. I thought I would, but it was all pavement, which made it nice and easy. And probably the only really big issue, other than not getting the gas, is the wind. I don't like really riding a motorcycle with the buffeting wind, but made it through that okay too. Anyhow, I did have a really great time. Looking forward to getting out on the bike again, doing some more adventures. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like to see more of my senior moments.